Okay, so here we are in the pricing matrix, and when you open it, it will be on this first tab titled Matrix. You'll see this blue column here, and this is where you're going to want to enter the number of layers for the cake type that you're making. Here's the 2-inch round that's in height, and this is the width of the pan. So let's just say, for the purposes of this example, you're making a double layer 8-inch round 2-inch high per layer cake. So you're going to enter a 2 here. If you were making a single layer cake, you would enter a 1. If you were making two 2-layer cakes, you would enter a 4. And you can see that this says it's going to serve 25 people. Over here you can see the estimated baking time for this cake and the estimated frosting time for this cake. And down the line there's tons of different types of cake. Pretty much all of the standard cake types are listed here, so you should not have to add any different types of cakes once you start using this matrix. Okay, the next tab is the shopping list. Based on the type of cake that we said we were going to make, this matrix is calculating that we're going to need 2 boxes of cake mix, 4 eggs, 2 half cups of oil or 1 cup of oil, and 2 packages of pudding. Then it also calculates the different types of frosting. If it's a white frosting, a chocolate frosting, chocolate ganache, if you were making flour icing, and also fondant, how many ounces of fondant it would take to cover this cake. Okay, on to the next tab, the groceries. It tells us that we're going to need to purchase 2 boxes of cake mix, 8 eggs, and so on and so forth down the line. To make this accurate, you're going to want to update it with the price of these items in your area. You don't want to just leave these in here, because if cake mix is more expensive or cheaper in your area, you're going to want to have this calculate accurately for your town. Okay, the next column is rent inventory. Oh, I'm sorry, before we go on to that, down at the bottom here on this groceries tab, you'll see that it's calculating the price for a cake that's made with Duncan Hines cake mix, and this price here includes the price of white icing. Then you'll see fondant icing, chocolate frosting, chocolate ganache, and it actually defaults to using the chocolate ganache cake price because that's the way that the matrix was set up. So if you're not using chocolate ganache, you're going to want to come back over to this screen and see the total for the type of icing that you're going to use. Remember, this one here automatically is the one that includes the price for your white icing. Okay, on to this next tab, the rent inventory. You're going to want to update the matrix with the items that you already have in stock so that it won't calculate the price for you to purchase them. Also, if you have different prices for replacement costs, go ahead and update those as well, because you want it to accurately price for you. Okay, then on to the next one. Let me just show you down here how many different types. There's construction accessories, decorating accessories, pillars, cake stands, separator plates, cake pans, and so on. This is very comprehensive. I know you're going to find it very useful, especially when you get into pricing your wedding cakes. The next one, purchase inventory, is going to calculate the cost for the items that it identified that you're going to need to purchase. Let's just go down and see what it's saying we need for our 2-layer 8-inch round cake. I know it's something because I saw it calculate a price at the top. Just patient one. Oh, we're gonna need a cake board, of course, so it's calculating the price of that to be 81 cents for 2 cake boards, and cake circles are going to be 26 cents. If you already have those things on hand, I'll show you where you can back out that price, okay? So now to the calculate price tab. Remember I told you it was calculating for chocolate ganache icing, so that's where that $13.84 is coming from. It had somewhere in there that we were going to rent some equipment. There's the $1.84 for our cake circles and our cake plates that we were going to need. And then this right here is how much you charge to decorate per hour. If you've never thought about that before, you can see how much it would affect the price of your cake. So let's just say that's the going minimum wage in my state. What if it's, you're just going to say it's $3 an hour for you to decorate. You can see how it changes the total price of your cake. And now this is just a double layer 8-inch round cake. And this is telling us we should charge $32 for that cake. Remember how I told you it's important to do market research. If you call around and see that in your town this cake is going for $45, then you might want to up your price to about $40 or go with the market and go $45. Now, if you call around and you find out this cake is going to cost $25 in your town, then you have a decision to make there as well. Do you want to go down to the $25, or do you want to try to upsell your cake as being homemade with special ingredients and go ahead and charge $32 for your cake? But anyway, this will help you accurately price, especially when you start getting wedding cake orders, because on the matrix tab you can enter there's going to be a 4-inch round, there's going to be a 6-inch round, a 10-inch round, however many cakes that you're going to have there. And then it will calculate the cost per slice, which is what a lot of brides use to figure out which cake is going to be priced for their budget. So anyway, you can see how helpful this matrix is. Please don't type over any of the columns where you see a function right up here in the function bar. That means it's doing an automatic calculation for you. If you type over a column that contains that, you will mess up your matrix and you'll want to go ahead and restore it from the original. Okay? If you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Happy cake pricing!